Welcome back to the channel this week, guys. This week we're going to focus in on 3rd gen Dodge lighting upgrades. This should apply 03 all the way up to 09. Specifically, we're focusing on the upgrades we did to Kenzie's 3rd gen here. We just recently added these headlights that have a nice LED strip with a LED running light on them. We'll show you briefly how we wired those in. We also added LED headlights and turn signals. What you have to do when you install LED headlights on a 3rd gen, you have to add a resistor pack in line with the high beam, low beams, and they make a plug and play kit. Some people call them a decoder. It's basically a 50 watt, 8 ohm resistor that you put in line. Basically, you fool the computer into thinking it has the factory halogen bulbs in it still. And we're also going to discuss some on the TIPM issue. Now, this is the totally integrated power module that sits here. We did have an issue with our TIPM around the same time we plan on doing all of these other upgrades at the same time. So we did have to replace the TIPM because our left low beam quit working, which is a common issue, and we got it programmed and calibrated. So we'll go over a little bit about that, how you can isolate and make sure you know that it is a failed TIPM and not just a bad bulb or a wiring issue. And then we're also going to cover the final item that we added, which were 16 RGB rock lights. So we got 2 rock lights in the front near the bumper. We got 2 in each wheel well, 2 under the cab and 2 under the back. Let's jump right into it, and we're going to talk about these 3rd gen lighting upgrades. So first part we're going to discuss is talking about these nice aftermarket headlights. Now, these are from Amazon. We thought these were a nice touch compared to the factory housings. Now, our original ones were extremely faded, very yellow, and we wanted to just get nice new crystal clear housings with the chrome. We think it looks good with the white truck and the little chrome accents and the silver, that accent we have. We do plan on wrapping the truck, but I still think these will look great. And then I thought the nice LED running light strip. Now, these are wired in to the key. Like I'll show you, I'll shut the key off and they turn off. You turn the key back on to ignition power. Now, we did that by coming up here, and we just used what is called a fuse tap for the power wire. It is tapped into a fuse. Now, I have no idea what that fuse is for, but the way it works is you just check with a voltmeter or a power probe. We used a power probe, and basically you turn the key on and you see which one has power, shut the key off, and make sure the power goes off so that it doesn't drain your battery. You can't leave these on all the time, or else it'll kill your battery. When you're running them just the way we have them on our truck, if you're running it to ignition power, you know, you would run your fuse tap and find which one has power with the ignition on, and this would become your power wire. So that runs directly to your headlights for the running light, to your power, and then each side has its own individual ground, which we just ran from the headlight and ran it to the cross member here. So we got one ground here for the right side, one ground here for the left side. So it's pretty simple to run. We talked a little bit about the TIPM issue that we had. Our left low beam headlight went out. And so, I mean, for your DIY guy at home, if you're trying to diagnose this, I would say just swap if you know your right side headlight low beam is working, just swap your headlight bulbs. And that would be a pretty quick way to determine if you have a power supply issue. Now, you could have a break in the wire, or you could have a blown fuse. So, you know, always check your owner's manual or look it up. Actually, startmycar.com is a great interactive fuse box diagram. I use that all the time. It's easier than looking up, you know, in the OEM book. So just look up your fuse first. Make sure you don't have a blown fuse for whatever's not working. But the TIPM failure can be low beam failure, high beam failure, both sides. Tail light failure also. So if you have a tail light out, it could be the TIPM. So, you know, just kind of check. Make sure you're having power. Now, you should check the power coming out of the back of the TIPM instead of just throwing, or just verifying you're not getting any power to your headlight harness here. That's the right way to finish it. So you can trace back that wire color back to your TIPM and make sure you have continuity between the headlight and the TIPM. Ours was a failed power module. Our left low beam was not working. I actually had one out of a 07 Ram, my mega cab, that I just took it out and we plugged it up. The low beam worked, the truck would not start. The part number was different on that TIPM versus the original. So Kenzie found one on Facebook Marketplace, went and picked that up, and we put it in the truck, and then that first night it didn't want to work. It didn't want to start until it had to like click like 3 times, I think. The part number was the same, so we were hoping we could just bring it to the dealer, calibrate it to this specific VIN number, and they did. It was funny, we plugged it in the parking lot, and it worked in the parking lot for no reason. And then we had them calibrated anyway. But so yeah, that's all good. No weird configuration codes in the computer. We discussed some about our headlights, high beam, low beam, turn signals. Now we still do have a hyper flash issue If anybody's ever wondered what hyper flash means, it's when it goes from your normal blink, 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 you know, at normal speed to a high speed blink. Left turn signal, and then it'll switch to a hyper flash, which is just because same thing with why you have a flicker issue with your low beams, because the resistance is not the same. So your computer thinks that you have a bulb out and it's going to go to a hyper flash. So we are going to get a resistor for the turn signals as well to resolve that. We did buy these headlights off of Amazon, and we did have an issue right out the gate with this left headlight that was completely filled full of like water and super foggy. So we just opened up a Amazon exchange thing and they sent us a brand new one for no charge. We do have to ship the old one back, but I mean, that's kind of the thing you're gonna run across buying cheaper, you know, Amazon quality parts. They're like 120 bucks for these. I think they look pretty good. I don't know how long they're gonna last. Maybe next time go around, we'll buy some Alpha Rexes, but if you're trying to build a truck on a budget, dropping $600 on a set of headlights isn't always in the budget. These look 20 times better than the original ones, and this one hasn't gotten any moisture in it. We put it on yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So yeah, that covers our headlights. That covers our daytime running light. Last but not least, we're gonna talk about these nice fancy rock lights. I'll turn the lights off real quick. You guys can get a better look at them. Bam. Oh yeah, that's one mean looking truck. We got these rock lights from MicTuning. They are a RGB controllable, so you hook them up to a phone app and you can actually change the color. Right now we have them just set to this kind of teal bluish color, and there's 16 of them. So what we did, we put 2 in the front here on behind the bumper, 2 per wheel well, so that comes to 10, and then 2 under this left side to illuminate under the step and under the bed. And then we have 2 under the back where the spare tire would normally mount. The spare tire fell off, so you know, we just mounted it where the spare tire would have been. It was kind of just, when you're putting rock lights on, you just want to spread them out, because then like this looks really good. There's no dark spots under the truck. I feel like it lights the wheel wells real nice. I guess the most difficult part with installing rock lights on any truck is getting it to be a clean install, if you want to call it that. And so like, especially here in the front, when you're installing them, you don't want to have a bunch of wires running all over the place in the side of the wheel well where the lights are now illuminating everything. It's gonna look trashy. So with this one, we punched 2 holes, one for the wire coming in and one for going out. These work on a sequence of lights. So it comes out of the control box in 2 legs off the control box. One is gonna be for like the right bank of the truck, and one's gonna be for the left bank of the truck. So you kind of wanna mount this somewhere center. This is literally the center point of where the sequence would start here. And then one bank starts with these 2 under behind the bumper, and the other 2 start right here in the wheel well. If you look in the wheel well real quick, you can see where we don't have any wires running actually around the light. So both of them punch back through behind the wheel well liner. So we pulled both front wheel well liners out to be able to make a clean install on the fronts. The rest, I used a mix of zip ties and P-clamps, because these back wheel wells are not removable on a Dodge, which was going to be very difficult to get the wires up behind the inner fender liner. So that's why we did a couple P-clamps, and I basically zip tied the rock lights to the P-clamps. And it looks pretty good. You can't see any wires hanging. That's the biggest part. You don't want to see a bunch of wires just flopping around all over the place. They come with these extension harnesses when you're installing them. I think it came with 8 extension harnesses. We only needed 4. You would definitely need these if you had a crew cab, mega cab, long bed. This one's a single cab long bed, so it was relatively easy. But these would just daisy chain in a row to be able to extend further back. This applies pretty much to any rock light kit. This one was actually not too terrible to install, just a little bit time consuming. For the control wires, you just come right up top. They come from your battery. Comes with an inline fuse. You just hook up to your positive and negative. And these do come with pretty much the whole harness is already pre-wired. So you don't have to wire in a switch to turn them off and on. The switch you just run into your cab. This one is not permanently mounted yet, and it probably never will be, but yeah, I'll probably mount it eventually. But it just sits right here to power on and off the rock lights. Yeah, so that comes pre-plugged in. Only thing you have to connect is your 2 power and your ground to your battery, and then you connect your rock lights to your control module. These just split out in line, and we just daisy chained them. When you're installing these, work closest to the control box and out first. Anytime you have a bunch of extra wire, you just zip tie it together and kind of tuck it away. Difficulty of install from 1 to 10 for rock lights, I'd put it at, for a DIY guy, 3. I mean, they're really not that hard to install. Will it take a little bit of time? Yeah. That could range from difficulty on how good you want it to look. Now, these rock lights, I would put a 8 or a 9 on the quality of the install. Only reason I say 8 or 9 is because I didn't punch a bunch of holes in the bed to get all the wires tucked behind the bed. Overall time, if you're installing a full set of 16 rock lights, I think we had 3 hours into the whole install. If it's your first time ever doing anything electrical, maybe 4, depends on your skill level, to be honest. As far as installing the headlights, those took a while because the old bolts were extremely rusty. Difficulty of install on the headlights, all the miscellaneous electrical, the daytime running lights, I would say maybe around the same, 3 or 4 on a difficulty level. Install time, maybe an hour total. If you didn't have to cut any bolts, unlike we did, you'd maybe be 20-30 minutes to swap these out. They're really not that bad. We switched over to full LEDs on ours just because we think they look good. You can use all your factory bulbs on these. You don't have to switch to LED. We still do have one more lighting upgrade we need to do to this, and that is the fog lights. We have not touched these fog lights yet. That is on the list. We're gonna get some LED fog lights, and that would pretty much complete the look. That pretty much covers everything as far as the lighting upgrades we did on the truck. The difficulties we ran into, she's pretty much ready to roll. Got a little spaceship running down the road, and now you can watch a cool edit of our lights going down 48.